Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you all about the mods and CC that I use to make my Sims 3 game look beautiful. One of the most common criticisms that I hear about The Sims 3 is that it is an ugly game with bad graphics, and while different people like different things, in this video I am going to compile the list of the mods and CC that I use for my game to make it look beautiful and that I could not live without. I'll link all of the mods and CC used in the description of the video for you to have easy access to them, and of course these are just the ones that I use. If there's any of the thousands of options that you prefer to use, then go for it. But without further ado, let's get to the video. So my number one tip is to install a lighting mod. If there is one takeaway from this video, it is that a lighting mod is essential to making your Sims 3 game look good. I personally use the brntwaffles fresh cut day with university water, but there are so many options to choose from for a lighting mod. It's really all about trial and error, putting things into your game and trialing and seeing what you prefer. But a lighting mod makes your game's lighting just pop, and the world looks so much more vibrant and colorful and lively with this. It also puts this kind of effect on the sky and the night sky, especially with the fresh cut day one. I love, it's so beautiful. Just make sure you only install one lighting mod at a time, including only one type of water at a time. So you should never have more than one lighting mod package in your mods folder at a time. But do take time to try out different ones, take them in and out of your game and see which one you like the most. So my second tip is to get default skins and eye replacements. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. The Sims 3 skins and eyes are kind of tragic, and that's why I've put in default replacements for those. For my default skin, I use brntwaffles sugar pill skin, and for my eyes, I use brntwaffles sarhras eyes version 2. I basically owe this whole video to brntwaffles at this point. Their creations are just incredible, and I just love everything that they do, to be honest. And without them, I don't think my game would look as pretty as it does, quite frankly. So what I like about the sugar pill skin the most is that it enhances the nose area here. So I honestly felt like not only did the vanilla Sims 3 base game skin and also a lot of other CC skins not really do that, and as a result I felt like my Sims would kind of have the pudding face effect because there wasn't really enhancement of the nose. I know that sounds really weird, but I think that's the culprit for most of the kind of pudding face, like quote unquote pudding face issues. I also just got kind of bored of always having to put a nose mask onto my Sims. I didn't really want to jump into Kaz all the time to do that. So then when I found this skin, I was like, oh my gosh, it kind of just does what I would do with the nose mask, but just automatically across every Sim, and I feel like it just is the best skin. I don't know, for me, I really love this skin, and I never say never, but I really feel like I'll never ever switch to using any other skin. I just love this one so much because it just makes my life easier. I feel like every Sim kind of has their nose looking great and sharp and I just feel like with this skin you really can't have pudding face syndrome, at least to the extent that I feel like you can get with the vanilla skin. And I'll show you just a little bit kind of what it looks like with different skin tones. I normally don't use any of the special, like, I guess occult skin colors, but here they are. I'll show a couple of those as well. I don't know, I just absolutely love this skin tone and I don't think I'll ever use anything else. Now for the eyes, I use the brntwaffles sarhras eyes version 2. I have in my time had a huge struggle with trying to find the perfect default replacement eyes for myself. It has been really difficult, but I think with these eyes I have finally found my perfect eyes. I will show you what they look like with different colors. I don't know, for me these eyes are just perfect. They're so just, I feel like understated and pretty, and I think I have found my favorite default replacement eyes in these eyes. I think they're so stunning. For now at least, these are what I use and I have been loving them so much. Now for my third tip, I would advise to find default eyebrows. The skins in the eyes are not the only thing that are tragic. Vanilla eyebrows are kind of ugly too, I'm not gonna lie. They're not the worst offender, but they are offensive enough for me me to have replaced these. For these, I use SLU Sims 3 eyebrow defaults, which don't really change the eyebrows, like the actual shape or anything. They just refine it and make them have this more like refined look. So here in the thumbnails, you can see what the normal vanilla eyebrows would look like. And so I will click on them and I will just kind of explain why I like these so much. So when you have these eyebrow replacements, as I say, they don't really change the shape of the eyebrow itself, but it does just give them a more refined look and like a more realistic look of like you can see all the strands of eyebrow hairs in the eyebrows, which I just love that so much. I don't know, for me this is like I've seen the light and I will never go back and use any other eyebrows or eyebrow defaults. I do have some custom ones, but I still mostly end up gravitating towards using these in my daily gameplay, and I just love them. They give my Sims such a more refined and realistic look in my opinion. And yeah, I really recommend these for a more enhanced look for your Sims eyebrows. Now, another major thing is default hairs. So I think that the Sims 3 vanilla hairs created by the Sims 3 team are honestly the worst offender in terms of aesthetic things in the Sims 3. Like, case in point, this hair that I have not default replaced yet. I would like to talk to whoever approved this hair. I think it is absolutely hideous. No offense to whoever made it, but I do not like this hair. I do not like it one bit. And this was the case for a lot of hairs from the vanilla game. There are hairs that I do like. I think this top knot with the little braid is really cute. I even think this one's kind of pretty, if I'm honest. I don't really hate it that much. But then there's hairs like this that I just despise. I obviously haven't really gone through each of them and replaced all of them, but I have replaced a lot of hairs. So I use for my hair default replacements a mixture of Mary Jane and Firefox Sims hairs, and I just feel like it has helped me so much because when Sims are walking around town, they don't have some of the ugly hairs and instead they just kind of look really pretty with some of these default hairs that I have used as replacements. I just feel like this makes it so much easier to feel like everybody in the town is just looking way more prettier and put together, and it just like enhances the overall aesthetic of the game for me so much. Hello, this is Editing Tawny. I do not think that I explained well enough what this is. So basically these two creators have taken other CC hairs from other creators and then converted them to be defaults of hairs already existing in the game. So they are not hairs that I made default replacements or hairs necessarily created by these creators themselves, but it is rather them finding hairs that kind of look similar to those hairstyles and then replacing them with those CC hairs. I hope that makes sense, but I just wanted to clarify this just in case. Honestly, this for me has become one of my absolute must-haves. I need to have my default replacements in my game, or otherwise I just can't live. Honestly, it is such a necessity for me at this point. However, what I will say is that especially because I use a mixture of two creators' hair defaults, I have had to take so much extra care to make sure that I'm not using default replacements for the same hairstyle. So you really need to take care to make sure that you're not downloading two replacements for the same hairstyle. So it is really important to remember that you can only have one replacement per one hairstyle. If you want to play it safe, I would recommend sticking to just one creator, but if you feel like you can exercise caution, then just go wild and free and download hairs from both of these creators simultaneously. I know I do, and there are just some hairs that are just so beautiful that I couldn't really help myself, and I had to mix it and match a little bit with both creators, and so far it's been great. And another point that I need to make about these default hair replacements is that initially when you go into your save, some of the default replacements might look a little bit weird.
Oh my god, what is that?
Normally they kind of start looking okay after 1 or 2 sim days. I don't exactly know what happens, but it can take some time for the game to load the defaults in or whatever, so they might look a little bit weird and funky. If you really get bothered by this, just loading in and out of Kaz with the sim with the default hair will fix it and they'll appear normal. But yeah. And then finally, my final point that I need to make about making your sims look better is default lipstick. I find this to be a thing that maybe I am really weird for being so bothered by, but the 3 default lipsticks that we got in the Sims 3 base game, I find so completely horrendous that I had to find default replacements for those. So I replaced them with potato butt cheeks base game lipstick default replacements. I love that username so much. But these just replace the base game lipsticks with much nicer ones that look way prettier in game, and I'll just show them to you real quick here. So this is the first one that I have replaced. It just really enhances the way that the lipstick looks, and I don't know, it's just way prettier. This is the second one. Again, it's pretty similar to the first one, but it just looks so nice, and I don't know, I could not live without these. They are just so pretty. And then finally the third one, which has a more glossier look, just super pretty, and I definitely recommend getting these if you do not like the regular vanilla lipsticks. For me, it's been really important to just make all of my default replacements decisions based on making the game look not only realistic, but just finding replacements that will take the weight off of my shoulders from the point of view of that I don't have to jump into Kaz all the time to give Sims a nose mask or a nicer makeup look or lipstick or a hairstyle. I've just wanted to make sure that my Sims are from the get-go looking nice, looking pretty with the defaults that I have in place, so that I don't have to worry about constantly jumping into Kaz, maybe to give them another outfit if it's especially horrendous. But for me, it's been all about just focusing on that and making sure that my Sims everywhere in town are just looking their best at all times. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope these tips were helpful to you. I know it's not the most comprehensive thing, but also I would argue that I don't really rely on that many mods or CC to beautify my game. I've really wanted to just focus on doing those little tweaks and finding those little things that can make the game look its best without overloading my mods folder with stuff to keep the game running as well as it can. But also after making these tweaks, I haven't really felt the need even to do that much in game. So yeah, I hope these helped, and I hope you find these resources useful. I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!